Hello, it's Mr. Mabry. In this video, we're going to talk about how we're going to review how to make data tables and graphs for our first unit test. So here we go. Could you please open up a new Excel spreadsheet as you watch the video? And we're going to call this Excel spreadsheet. We want to save it in your 7th grade folder. I'm assuming you have a 7th grade folder. If not, I hope you have at least a science folder that you can keep all the documents that we save that aren't saved on Google Drive. And so open up your science folder. For me, I have a Unit 1, 2, 3 folder within my science folder. We're going to open this up, and we are going to save our document that we are going to work on today as Unit Practice Test. Actually, it'd be Unit 1 Practice Test in your science folder. So save, and yes, it is going to be plural, Unit 1 Practice Test. And then I want you to make 3 different sheets. The first sheet we are going to nickname, so right click, we're going to rename him. He's going to be called Rudolfo. Sheet number 2 is going to be called, what sheet is called? Sheet 2, you are called, oh yes, you're Lazy Leonard. Lazy Leonard. And sheet number 3 is called Michael. Don't ask me why, it's just the name. So, we have 3 different sheets. We're going to go back to Rudolfo's sheet. And on each sheet, you'll be making a data table and a graph depending on which practice test you're doing. Rudolfo's practice test 1, Lazy Leonard is 2, and Michael is practice test 3. Now, as far as Rudolfo goes, I'm going to go back to the one I've already been working on here. Here is the data table that you will create. I'm sort of giving it to you ahead of time because at least the year that we made this video, we had a really hard time struggling to figure out how to put data tables and graphs in a Brightspace assessment. And especially, how do we make this line graph? So this is what I want to show you how to do today. Our end goal in this video is figuring out how to make a line graph. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste the one that I made earlier, and I'm going to put it in this one right here. Now, don't worry, you will be making this data table, and you really don't need to pause the video and copy it here. To be honest, it'd be better practice for you if you didn't, but if you do, it's sort of on you. That's a choice you'll have to make. Now, once you have this data table, the question is, what kind of graph should I make, right? For Rudolfo, his experiment of how do different temperatures of air inside of a basketball affect the bounce height when you drop it on the ground, how high it goes. Well, we can see that it's 70 degrees, and that's embarrassing. I don't have Fahrenheit. So at 70 degrees Fahrenheit, the ball goes about 2.27 feet high. 80 degrees, it goes up to 3, and 90 degrees, it goes up to 3.5. Well, you're thinking, well, is this a bar graph or a line graph? Well, remember, we talked in class, it's the independent, the I-change variable that determines whether you have a bar graph because it's discrete, or if you have a line graph, because it's continuous data. Well, here's my independent variable groups in 70, 80, 90 degrees. Those are all temperatures. That's continuous data. So I've got to make a line graph. Well, how am I going to do it? Well, my advice is start doing the exact same thing you do when you make a bar graph. Highlight all of this data right here, all the numbers we have. And let's go to Insert. And instead of clicking on bar, we're going to click on line graph. And we'll just click on, actually, let's click on this one that shows the points. I like that one a little bit better. Now, this is not even close to the type of line graph we want. We want one line showing us across the x-axis here these different temperatures, and then on the y-axis here we just want to plot these averages. That's one line. Well, here's how we're going to fix this line graph to make it look like what we want. We're going to left click on the filters, and we're going to select the data that we want. The first thing we're going to worry about is our x-axis, the horizontal axis. So let's get rid of all these axes, and let's edit the range we want, or what we want the x-axis to be, is these 3 temperatures on the x-axis. So we're going to click OK. So we want 70 degrees, 80 degrees, and 90 degrees here on the x-axis. If I scoot this to the side, I see, hopefully it's going to reappear there before we're done clicking. And now, as far as the what we're going to want to graph on the y-axis, we want to graph this average. So we're going to get rid of these other series. Let's take the one series that remains and let's edit so that it is reflecting this data right here. So the values I want to graph, highlight this, I want to graph not that column, I want to graph these three numbers. Looks like I might have had to delete this first. Okay, calm down. Let's delete all that. I want to grab these three numbers, please. Thank you. And the name for those three numbers is bounce height. That's what I want. Okay. We got bounce height. We don't have any other series. We want 70, 80, and 90 degrees. We don't know what's down here. Let's click OK. Let's see what happens. And ta-da! What happened to 80 degrees? Let's go back to the... Oh, there you are, 80 degrees. Silly 80. Okay. All right. Ta-da! We've got it. There's our 70, 80, 90 degrees. There is our height over here. We still need to fix our axes, which are sort of screwy. So our title, we know our independent variable goes here, which is temperature, Fahrenheit. And we know over here this is bounce height. Feet. And then up here, we know our title is supposed to be the exact same title as our data table. I'm just going to be smart lazy. I'm going to cut and paste it. And all of a sudden, I have got a beautiful, amazing graph that matches my data table. Data table and graph are the same. I've got everything in the right spot. I've got a nice line graph. I can talk about the relationship here among my points. And that is how you make a line graph with a data table in Excel. Now, you'll notice I'm not showing you my Lazy Leonard or Michael tabs. Now, those tabs are blank right now. That's because I want you guys to go ahead and take the Unit 1 practice test number 2 for Lazy Leonard and number 3 for Michael. And I want you to figure out whether you should be making a line graph or a bar graph for both of these guys. You go ahead and put data tables and graphs in here, and then we'll talk about them in order to prepare for a unit test. All right, good luck. Go get them. Wait. I forgot one important thing. So, in order to submit your data table and your graph for me to look at it or to talk about next class period, you have to put it in a Google document, and then you have to put that URL into the answer box for the Brightspace on the Brightspace assessment. So let me show you. So what you need to do is, let's say for Rudolfo's Unit 1 practice test number 1, what we're going to do is we're going to click New on Snipping Tool. We're going to highlight the data table and the graph. We're going to right-click here. We're going to left-click Copy. Now I'm going to open up Chrome. I'm going to open up my 7th grade folder. I'm going to find my Science Google Drive folder. I am now going to start a new Google Doc. And for each practice test, I'd like you to make a different Google Doc. So for this one, we'll call it, Unit 1 Practice Test 1 Rudolfo. Then we're going to paste Rudolfo's data table and graph right here. And then you're going to left click on Share Link. And you're going to get a shareable link. And it's already copied to my clipboard, so now when I go back to my assessment, which I don't know where it is on my screen, but I'm sure it's somewhere on yours, take that link and you paste it into the box. Make sure you hit a space bar so it lights up blue, and then click Submit, and then I'll be able to look at it. Okay, you got it. Go get them.